Building from where we just left off, we're just kind of on the back side of the piece of the syllabus here, the next part of the syllabus if you're following along on BB Learn. And this is going to get more into the kind of nuts and bolts of the class. And again, as is the case with all of your other classes, it is important to kind of look here about how COVID-19 and the precautions and the systems put in place are going to affect this semester. So, as is clear, this semester will not be your typical semester. However, all of us at the University of Idaho are striving to deliver effective and meaningful curriculum. We are all trying to adapt and be adaptable, and we hope the same from all of our students, to be adaptable and recognizing that this semester could change at any instant. Okay? A few things to note. If you are ill, please stay home. Just stay home regardless if you think it's COVID-19, whatever the case may be. Just stay home if you are ill. Don't try to come to class. It's better for you and everyone if you stay at home. Second, wear a face covering. Right? It is mandatory of the U of I, and if you come to class without a face covering, or if you're choosing not to wear a face covering, I'm asking you to leave for the day. Okay? It is a matter of health. It's a matter of being aware and cognizant and kind to others. So masks are required, and you must wear them when you are on campus, when you are in the various buildings on campus. Okay. Second, wear a face covering. Although it may be burdensome and frustrating, wearing one will contribute to the health of the U of I community. Third, be mindful of the distance between you and others, appropriately spacing and being cautious to keep that space. Okay. All right. So a little bit about the particularities as it relates to our class. There's not that many students enrolled in philosophy and film, but nevertheless, the room that they have assigned us means that we can't all meet at once due to the classroom capacity rules. So, you all, like I said, will be assigned to Group A and Group B. I have tried to create a course that's intuitive and easy to follow. If you are on the A schedule, you attend class live on Tuesdays. If you are on the B schedule, you attend live class on Thursdays. For those days that you are not in the actual classroom, there will be subsequent material on BB Learn. Thus, you must stay active on BB Learn. Additionally, due to the nature of this course, we will have a week on and week off kind of schedule. The week off, or out of the classroom, will be the weeks when we watch films. Okay? You will have the flexibility to watch the films on your own time and at your own pace on those given weeks. And I'll say more about that kind of as we move on here. But essentially, just given the nature of the class, given the nature of this high flex model, if it was a normal semester, what we would do is we would have class, we'd watch a film, it would carry over, we'd discuss, we'd watch a film, and we would just maintain throughout the entirety of the classroom. But given that a lot of kind of your classes are going to be this hybrid model of in-class and online, it actually kind of works maybe to our benefit to watch more films. So how it works and how it will work, and I'll explain this more in depth on the back side here of the syllabus, or the last page of the syllabus, is so we'll have 1 week of live class where Group A comes on Tuesday, Group B comes on Thursday. We'll discuss, it's not the same lecture, it's not the same discussion on each class, but we'll discuss the topic, whatever it is, on Tuesday. We'll continue with that topic on Thursday. There will be subsequent kind of online material for Group B that misses live class on Tuesday. There will be subsequent material for Group A that misses live class on Thursday, and you'll find that all online. Okay? So we have a week of live class, and then the following week, or soon thereafter, we will not meet at all. Okay? You will see the assignments and the movies that are required to be watched for that week, and that is on your own time. Okay? There are some exceptions, which I'll point out on the syllabus here in just a bit, but essentially, hopefully that makes sense. Okay? When I have this kind of week on, week off kind of in and out of the classroom. So essentially, with some exception, let's say I'm in Group A, okay? I come to class on Tuesday, 1 week. The following week is movie week. No one comes to class, but there's still material on BB Learn that you need to check. Okay, so just check your folders every Tuesday, Thursday. And then that following week, you come back to class. So we go 2 weeks without seeing each other sometimes. Okay? So again, quite strange, but it's the world we're living in. Okay? That's how we're rolling. Yada, yada, yada. You will have the flexibility to watch the films on your own time and at your own pace. As noted above, anything can change on your anything can change, and your patience and respect to the situation is greatly appreciated. I will communicate needed information via email often, so that's the best way of continuing to stay kind of connected with announcements for the course is via email. Thus, you must stay active on Vandal Mail and on BB Learn. We can't treat our current COVID world as normal because it isn't normal, and we shouldn't expect normal life to necessarily exist. Please be patient, adaptable, wise, and safe, and I will try and do the same. Required texts for the course. All texts will be found on BB Learn. Okay, so there's no textbook at all. However, okay, you will be required to rent various movies either on YouTube or other online interfaces throughout the semester. This will cost you between $3 and $5 per film. Some movies you can find on various streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, HBO, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you have. So again, don't rent if you can find them on streaming services. All the films on the schedule are available for rent on YouTube. That is something that I made very kind of, again, trying to figure out which films to require. As I'm not requiring that you get a Netflix subscription, I'm not requiring you get a Hulu subscription, etc. So again, since blockbusters don't exist, and probably some of you don't even know what Blockbuster is, that's okay. But since Blockbuster doesn't exist, since the movie store in Moscow is out of business, there's really nowhere to actually rent DVDs, which is a crazy thing. But YouTube does have the ability that for all of these films, all these full-length films anyway, you can rent them for, I think it's $3.99. Okay, but I do know that a handful of these films are also on streaming services, which I'm sure either you have access to or maybe your roommate does, etc. So, and I kind of added it up. $3 to $5 per film is roughly, if not cheaper than most textbooks you've probably bought for most classes. Okay. Assignments. There's going to be 235 points total for the course, so that's not too much. So again, you must stay diligent and active and focused. There's going to be 3 response papers, each is worth 25 points. 4 discussion board kind of days, and I'll say more about that in a bit. 1 midterm and 1 final paper. Okay. Response papers. The response papers are intended to be a prominent source of philosophical rigor and challenge while engaging with concurrent material for the course. They will be graded on numerous aspects, including engagement, quality of prose, understanding, etc. They'll be roughly 200 words submitted on BB Learn. Okay? Submitted on BB Learn. They will not be pre-assigned, nor will students know when they are scheduled. Students must stay active on BB Learn to see when assignments show. Students will have 42 hours to complete the assigned response paper. So essentially what I mean there is on the schedule you see when we have the discussion board posts, but I have purposefully not posted when those response papers will be assigned and subsequently due. Meaning that, again, you have to stay diligent, you have to stay focused, and you have to check your folders every Tuesday, Thursday. Okay? Even for those weeks that it's just movies, or even on those days that you don't think much is happening, you have to check your Tuesday and Thursday folder, because essentially what will happen is a response paper sometime in September will show up. Okay? And it'll open at 6 a.m. and it'll be due midnight the following day. So again, 42 hours later, and you have that window to complete that assignment. Okay? I will not allow for makeup if you miss a response paper. Thus, you will lose 25 points. So you have to stay diligent, you have to stay focused, etc. Discussion board engagement. You'll be tasked with actively and effectively engaging in discussion with your fellow group members when assigned to do so. I'll assign you groups. You should have a link on BB Learn. Eventually, I don't think I have it set up yet, but you'll have a link eventually that'll link you into your group to participate in those discussions. And as you can see, the first one will be in just a couple weeks on September 10th. Okay? Most discussion boards will be in response to various films. You'll be graded on active participation, thoughtfulness, engagement, and quality. More info will come as these things crop up. One thing to just note is, like, on discussion boards, they have to be thoughtful to get full credit. You can't just be like, I agree, James, or yeah, great film, or I hated this, right? You have to say why. You have to, again, show that you're trying. You have to engage in the slightest, right? And hopefully you go beyond even the slightest. There's going to be a test in the middle part of the semester, also known as a midterm, a final paper at the very end of the term. Okay? So, let me move on here. Okay? Some other kind of aspects of the course. Again, graded coursework. Every assignment will be done through BB Learn. Minimize touch points and papers coming in, etc. I'll try to grade assignments in an effective and timely manner. Okay. I don't discuss grades over email. That's, again, typical when we have live classes more regularly. But if you have questions, shoot me an email. We can talk about it, etc. Don't cheat. Okay. I've set up all the assignments to, again, be reflective of your thoughts, your engagement. You necessarily can't totally plagiarize, but still I get baffled all the time with how students do end up plagiarizing. So just don't do it. Don't cheat. Okay? Don't go to a website and look up a movie review. I'll be able to tell that it's a movie review from a website. Don't do it. Okay, bad idea. Attendance policy, again, we've gone over that a couple of times. Again, Group A on Tuesdays, Group B on Thursdays. For the day that you do not attend live class, again, check BB Learn for concurrent material. We will have live class every other week, again, with some exceptions. Those weeks that we are not in the classroom, you will be responsible for the films assigned. So again, main vehicle here is just check BB Learn every Tuesday, Thursday. Our class isn't until 11. Okay? Assignments will show up at 6 a.m. So if you, again, have a little bit of gung-ho and want to get after it, go ahead and do so. But just check every Tuesday, Thursday, your folders for this class. Okay? Classroom respect. When we are in the classroom, I expect civility. I expect appreciation and respect. Okay? When discussing films, I'm sure that there's going to be some people that are really passionate about certain topics that are represented in certain films, and others that they get pretty upset or frustrated or don't really resonate. But again, all of that's encouraged. It can yield a really productive discourse. Technology in the classroom. When you are in class, just bring a notepad and a pen or paper, because that's what we'll use to kind of keep track of our discussions. I don't allow computers. I don't allow tablets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And also, if you're in class and if you're on your phone, right, and you're just kind of batting around on it, I'm just going to ask you to leave, because obviously you have something better to do. So just try to refrain from using your phone when you are in the classroom. Reasonable accommodations, you can see the contact info there for DSS. Okay? All right, so let's just run through here a little bit of the schedule. Okay? So as you can see, dates and assignments are subject to change, and again, there might be some differences if U of I eventually does go all online, who knows, and due to rising COVID cases, again, all of this is kind of in flux. All of this we must be adaptable for. What is presented here, though, is a general timeline. Italicized dates are dates that we will not meet in the classroom. Okay? Italicized dates are dates that we will not meet in the classroom. You will be responsible for watching those films on your own time. Links and instructions for those films will be found in the week and day folders in BB Learn. Okay? So as you'll see on BB Learn when you go in, you might be in there now, on the left side column you saw a week of 8/25, right? And then you clicked on it, and then it was Tuesday, Thursday. Eventually, and every week, I will open up a new tab that will be eventually week of 10/6, week of October 6th. Okay? So again, this is how the course will run. And you can see there, right, the first 2 weeks we will be in class. We'll do two syllabus days to kind of all have our footing, all have our grounding. And then the week of 9/1, which again you will see a tab there on BB Learn, we will meet in class, and you can see that those dates are not, they are not italicized, meaning come to class. We'll talk about kind of an intro to philosophy, get familiar with various terms, and then we'll talk about intro to film, right? Like what are some terms with film and various genres, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the first week that we are not meeting in the classroom is the week of September 8th, okay? 9/8, okay? And you can see there that in that week of 9/8, we're going to be watching 3 short films on Tuesday, okay? And on September 10th, we'll be watching the most recent winner of the Best Picture from the Academy Awards, Parasite. And then you can see the following week we meet in class. So that's kind of the rhythm of the class. There is a little bit of distinction here. There's a little bit of distinction here. Where is it? No, I mean, yeah, so that's kind of how it works, is we have a midterm that week of October 15th, which you can see is italicized. So again, you'll take the midterm on BB Learn. It will be timed, etc. And then we'll come back and meet again live in class on October 20th and then October 22nd, off, out of class that following week of Halloween. I've chosen to talk about fear and horror and terror that week. Okay? Seems only fitting. And then that following week in November, on Election Day, November 3rd, we will meet in the classroom. On November 5th, meet in the classroom. Again, November 10th, out of the classroom. So hopefully that kind of makes sense there as we kind of like look at it, as we discuss it. And again, easiest way of saying this here, italicized dates are dates that we will not meet in the classroom. Okay? All right. Hopefully this all makes sense. This is a very long syllabus video. I apologize for the length of it, but hopefully this gives you a lot to work with, to understand, as it prepares us for, again, a very unique semester coming up. I look forward to seeing you in class, where we will discuss the same thing, but in class has more of the ability to be and engage in discussion. So I recommend coming to class on your assigned days if you feel so comfortable. 2 things to state here. What are they? 2 things to end on. Okay? 1, and I'm doing this with my other 2 classes as well, but essentially how I'm approaching them and how I'm viewing them is I am trying to essentially create online classes with a live component, as opposed to the opposite. Okay? So online classes with a live component. So if you're feeling ill, if you're not comfortable coming to class, there's no pressure for you to do so. Essentially, the live portion of the classes on the Group A and Group B, that's for you if you want it. I think it could be really beneficial for us to meet, to discuss, to engage with topics, to talk about films. But also, I've set the course up in a way where you will be able to complete it from online. Okay? So that's point 1. Point 2, I don't remember at this time. So, I feel like 19 minutes is long enough for this. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Welcome to the course. I am excited about it. I hope you are as well. I think it has potential to be really, really quite meaningful. Cheers.